With Urshifu gone in Regulation H, fighting types are a little bit scarce in the format, but more valuable than ever. And one of the fighting types that has taken a lot of users by surprise is Sneasler, with its ability to do a lot of damage and be one of the fastest speed tiers in the format. We're going to be trying out this team that was able to get rank 1 on Showdown and seeing how well it can perform. This is a rank 1 Sneasler team that hit the top of the Pokemon Showdown ladder. We have the combination of Sneasler and Entity. The idea of this Sneasler with the Psychic Seed is you do have the Unburden. You get a +1 special defense. It's actually pretty bulky. It doesn't have much speed investment because of the Unburden and Sneasler's high already fast speed stat, and focuses more on its attack stat and its HP in order to take attacks, so it can set up that sword stance effectively and then dish out massive amount of damage. Close combat for a lot of offensive pressure, especially against Archaludon and Ursaluna. We have the Dire Claw, which is a funny poison type move that can really screw opponents by surprise, especially the 30% chance to just get a random status effect. And then Throat Chop's interesting with Terra Dark. It's really nice because you're able to hit Pokemon like Golden Go that is immune to and wall sneezed or otherwise, as well as some other Pokemon that can be very effective like Basculegion. We have this support Entity with the safety goggles with Psychic Surge. Imprison's a really cool attack with Terra Ghost. You might be wondering why Terra Ghost on Entity if you have the Psychic Surge that usually already blocks fake outs. Well, in some cases Rillaboom will be able to prevent the Psychic Surge from going up, especially since the Entity actually has a little bit of speed. And you also have the Imprison that you really want to get off against the Trick Room teams, so against like fake out users, and especially the Final Gambit Annihilates. The Entity with Terra Ghost is able to be immune to the Final Gambit fake outs. You can go for that Imprison and generally safely just prevent a Trick Room for at least one turn. Follow me for support, especially with the Sneasler, the Nasty Plot Golden Go. It's a really nice compliment. The Trick Room itself, so you can stop opposing Trick Room, and if you need Trick Room, it's a useful tool. And then Hyper Voice for some spread damage to break Focus Ashes. We have the offensive mode of the team next. We have the Murkrow with the Prankster, and this one is a very specially defensive set that's able to survive, for instance, a boosted Electroshock from most Archaludons. It's able to set up Tailwind, yet Protect because you want to preserve Murkrow for the Haze especially. This is your main game plan into Dondozo to get rid of those boosts, which is one of the best reasons why Murkrow is used. And then Foul Play for being able to get some chip damage. It's really especially defensive Murkrow, really just able to tank one Electroshot, get up to Tailwind, survive, keep being around on the field. The Haze is able to reset stat drops. For instance, you can reset your stat drops on Sneasler. If you have Sneasler on the field, you go for close combat, and then next turn you can go for Haze. And the same thing, it has a bunch of combinations for the following Pokemon we're about to talk about. This Hydreigon, for instance, with the choice specs, it will do a huge amount of damage. Max speed Hydreigon with the Terra Fire, with the Heat Waves, the Dark Pulses, Snarl for the side spam combinations, the Draco Meteors. Very, very hard-hitting Hydreigon. And with Haze, you're able to get rid of that special attack drop that Hydreigon has, so you can keep going for Haze and Draco Meteor and keep firing off these really powerful attacks, no downsides. The Golden Go with the Terra Dragon to make it bulky. It's actually still a pretty fast Golden Go. With Nasty Plot and Life Orb, he'll dish out so much damage. The Terra Dragon's nice for the common Fire, Water, Grass course out there. We have the Nasty Plot, Life Orb that's just able to do so much damage after just even one Nasty Plot. Really complements well with the Entity Follow Me support. Make a Rain, it will do a lot. And you don't even have to go for a Nasty Plot. With the Life Orb, you're able to do a lot of damage with the Make It Rain. Insane concept. We've seen this combination Regulation A a bunch with Murkrow, Golden Go. You go for a Make It Rain, dish out a huge amount of damage with the Golden Go, and then you use Haze to get rid of that special attack drop, so you can keep going for the really powerful Make It Rains. Final mon is the Adaptability Basculegion with the Choice Guard, just a really good cleanup mon. It will dish out a bunch of damage with the Wave Crash and the last respects, especially in the endgame scenario. This one carrying Terra Grass, Terra Blast to cover for the water types, and Aqua Jet for just a backup move in case you need priority. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. Gallade for Farigiraf, King Gambit, the Ursaluna Blood Moon, Incineroar, and Palafin. All right, Trick Room. We do have a very powerful Hydreigon with a Draco Meteor that just can destroy teams. So I do like the Hydreigon. I actually like Hydreigon plus Sneasler a lot, actually. I think it's pretty good. Golden Go with Terra Dragon's pretty good. Indie, I think, and back is nice. Yeah, I don't really need Murkrow too much in this matchup. Basculegion, it's kind of decent, but I don't think it's necessary at all. Like, because of King Gambit and the fact that I can have the Psychic Terrain, have the redirection for Golden Go setup for protecting my heavy threats, which is the Sneasler and the Hydreigon. I think it's better. The only thing I could have probably contemplated on is the lead. I feel like Golden Go could have been a good lead. I just don't want him leading King Gambit. I want pressure against King Gambit by leading Sneasler. We're going to see the lead of Palafin Incineroar. Okay. Versus Hydreigon and the Sneasler. Now, I don't know if they're going to click Fake Out. I mean, I do threaten a lot of damage with Hydreigon here, so they might. I think I'm just going to go for a play. I expect a Fake Out in Hydreigon. I'm just going to go for Draco Meteor and I'm going to go for Sword Stance. Unless they go for a really risky Terra Water play with like Wave Crash turn 1, I should be all right. If they go for a Parting Shot, it's not ideal, but it's still very playable. I'm kind of curious because I wonder if their back is like for rig stuff. Oh, they stayed in. I get a Draco Meteor off an Incineroar. I do KO the Incineroar immediately. Wow, that Incineroar was not bulky in the special defensive side. Okay. What are you going with the Palafin? You are able to set up the Sword Stance with the Sneasler. Is this flip turn? This flip turn, that's fine. Yeah. Okay. So they go for flip turn. The Sneasler is in a pretty good spot, I'd say. I'd say this is a pretty good spot for Sneasler. We should be able to destroy them with a +1 close combat. Maybe Dire Claw. Throat Chop could be a play. But yeah, they know I'm specs now. Delayed going to come out, which is fine. I like Dire Claw KOs. I feel like Dire Claw should KO. There should be Palafin coming back out. And I'm going to make the obvious play, but I mean, there really is no risk here. It's just switching out Hydreigon into the... Well, if it's Palafin, should I just close combat it? Nah, I feel like sticking to the game plan and preventing Trick Room from going up would be really ideal here. Because like Palafin doesn't really like Terra Dragon Gold or Hydreigon. So I think I go into the... And I just go for a Dire Claw into the Gallade. +1 Dire Claw. I don't know if it KOs, but it should do a lot. If not, it puts in Hyper Voice range, which is ideal. And they have to Wave Crash in order to get like anything accomplished with the Palafin this turn. Because this might be like an attempt to Jet Punch to Sneasler and then Trick Room or Sacred Sword comes out, which is fine too. Alright, get the Psychic Seed for the Unburdened. Make sure we outspeed the Palafin in case it's fast Palafin for some reason. Terra gonna come out. I imagine this is Terra Water on the Palafin. I guess it would be awkward if they Wave Crash my Hydreigon switching. That could be scary. Although I still think Terra Dragon Gold is probably okay. I say attempted Jet Punch. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, that's really good. So Dire Claw into Gallade. That was actually pick up the knockout too. Oh man, all right, perfect. I wasn't sure. I was like, does the Gallade have defense investment? Maybe it can survive Dire Claw. Perfect, perfect turn. No Trick Room up. We're gonna see the Ursaluna come in, and at this point, like, yeah, I have gold, I have Hydreigon. I'm feeling pretty good about this spot. I'm just gonna click follow me. I think I just click close combat into the Ursaluna. They're gonna forfeit. Yeah, like it just seemed really rough for them at that point. The Sneasler was set up. They had to waste a turn Wave Crashing. They could protect Wave Crash, or they could protect Palafin and attack with Ursaluna to expect a target because the Sneasler can only target one at a time. They kind of have to get that mind game right. It was still maybe doable for them with like every right call, but even then, like I had a lot of pressure with the Pokemon I had in the back. Like Life Orb Gold would make it rain with Terra Dragon alongside the Choice Specs Hydreigon on the back. It looked really rough for them to come back in that one, especially with the +1 Sneasler still around. Oh, this team looks scary. We have Superior, Grimmsnarl, the Dondozo, Tatsugiri, Blaziken, and now Creamy. Looks like a really cool team though. Like really cool team. Sneasler looks really good. We had 3 Pokemon that are weak to Fairy, which is great. I do want to bring the Sneasler. I do want to probably bring Murkrow. Haze is just so good against my opponent. I think I do want to bring the Murkrow. And then what? Honor Ring Basculegion or Hydreigon? They're both pretty good. like it should be Basculegion. This is a really weird bring, I suppose. I don't think gold could be useful too. There's so many Pokemon I could bring here. I just always need to pressure the Dondozo. So I think just having these is probably all right. I have Entity in back because I don't really need... It doesn't look like I need to speed immediately. Basculegion is probably what I want to bring just because it's good against Blaziken. Because Blaziken can't really touch it with fighting or water or fire moves. Blaziken out creamy, all right. Against the Murkrow and the Sneasler. How risky do I want to play this turn one? I feel like I kind of want to play it really risky. I really do. I feel like a sword stance here on the Sneasler and a Tailwind would be really nice. Actually, no, I'd probably want to protect. I don't want Dazzling Gleam plus Flare Blitz in a Murkrow, which is also a potential option. So yeah, I'm just going to protect and sword stance. Nice. Nice detect. Is this like protect decorate stuff? Like that's what I'm seeing here. I sword stance for Sneasler. Get the +2. Yeah, I had a feeling. This decorate does go to protect. Okay. All right. I had a feeling there was some strat that involved this. I feel like it's probably Clear Amulet Blaziken. Blaziken really wants Clear Amulet because Intimidate kind of shuts it down. Please don't be Focus Sash, but I am going to Dire Claw the Blaziken and I am going to Tailwind. I get Haze away to boost too, but like, yeah, this is kind of weakness of running the Blaze, like a full like stat boosting setup team because Haze is really rough for you to deal with here. But yeah, let's just go for a Tailwind and a Dire Claw. We're gonna see the switch out from the Alcremie into the Tatsugiri. There's no way you're going Dondozo, right? Okay, Tatsugiri in. I just get a free Dire Claw into the Blaziken. Oh no, it was Focus Sash. Okay, who did you target? Oh, I love Dire Claw. I love Dire Claw. How fast is this Sneasler? Does it outspeed max speed Blaziken? Blaziken's not super fast. I guess it had to be Jolly. I think we still outspeed. I guess just to be safe, right? Dire Claw to Blaziken, swap out an Entity is pretty safe. Yeah. Because we also have the Unburden boost as well. I'm not too scared to Tatsugiri at the moment. Man, I can't believe it was actually Sash Blaziken. Okay. Psychic Seed from the Sneasler. Granted, like, I don't know what mode they were going to click and into who. If they kill a Murkrow, it's bad. Like, really, really bad. If they target Sneasler, it's completely fine. Because then at least I still have pressure for the Dondozo with my Basculegion. Like Last Respect is still like putting on pressure. I need Haze though to make sure that I check the Dondozo. But yeah, we're gonna see Dondozo come out. All right, this is pretty all right. I guess there is some risk that I'm taking here, but I don't really see too much of a reason not to go for this play. I'm just going to go for a Follow Me with my Entity, and I'm going to go out in Murkrow, because the only way I should lose Murkrow would be a Rock Slide, but I just don't see a reason why you would click Rock Slide here. I go for Follow Me and then Haze away to boost on the Dondozo. Then we can start beating it down with Last Respect or Terra Blast from Basculegion if I want to. So let's see what they click. Earthquake, yeah, that's fine. And now we click Haze. My favorite move of getting rid of Dondozo stuff. And I guess we Hyper Voice because we get chip damage. So goodbye to your boost, Dondozo. It was fine getting rid of the boost on the Sneasler because we already... A, Unburden's not going to be helpful too much. B, this thing has Unaware probably, so it's just better. Earthquake again. All right. Yeah, like now we're in a completely dominant spot. Didn't do that much to Entity. Leftovers will heal it, but at this point we're just waiting to get our free switch. Petered out. I think I'm just gonna click foul play, I suppose, and a hyper voice. No, follow me. Actually, I should be fast. I might be faster than Dozo still. I'm just gonna hyper voice. That was gonna be forfeit. Yeah, they can't really do much, right? They have an unboosted Dondozo. I still have like a lot of offensive threats in the back. They don't know my last, but like it's pretty rough for them at that point. So I mean, that's Dire Claw for you. I'm not going to say too much. Dire Claw is that kind of move that can bail you out of certain situations. So you know what? We take those. Interesting team. Mandibuzz, King Gambit, Tauros, Dragapult, Amoonguss, Gothitelle. Gothitelle is the interesting one for sure. I really like Gold and I like Indeedee a lot here. Gold Indeedee is really good against most of their team. It's just not good against the King Gambit, but we can play around it. And we do have a Sneasler, so I am bringing those three for sure. I guess the question mark is what I wanted to back. We're not faster than Dragapult, which is like my only issue here. If we're faster than Dragapult with Basculegion, it's so much safer. Like Hydreigon's nice because the Mandibuzz might be a bit of a problem to break through. Basculegion is kind of good too. Murkrow could be nice because of foul play pressure, but it's not really too good into the team. I think I'll go Bask. Oh, this is tricky. This is tricky because I don't know what they're going to bring. I guess like the thing is I can play around Shadow Tag. I have double Ghost and I have multiple Pokemon that can Terra. The problem is they do have double Dark and their own Ghost type, so I don't think it's worth it. I think just setting up with the Golden Go is fine. I could have went like Indeedee, Gold, Nasty Plot, and then set up for a Murkrow sweep potentially. That might have been better. But we'll see. The thing is that Dragapult doesn't have a safe Ghost type move into my Golden Go unless A, it's Specs, or B, it's Terra Ghost Terra Blast. And you have to go for that in front of an Indeedee as well. We're going to see the King Gambit and the Gothitelle. All right. So it's time for some scary parts here. Very scary, but we'll go for a follow me. We'll go for a Nasty Plot. Not really too much to say here. We'll try to bring out the Sneasler the following turn. They can't Sucker Punch because of the Psychic Terrain, which is nice. I don't know if they're Trick Room or not on the Gothitelle because they don't really have the best tools to abuse Trick Room. I gotta watch out the next turn though because the King get well, we see a Terra, which is interesting. Is this Terra on the Gothitelle? Yeah, to avoid Shadow Ball. Terra Steel is fine. All right, I don't have to worry about Terra on the King Gambit, which is really nice. Follow me from the Indeedee. Let's see what they decide to click here with their Pokemon. Nasty Plot from the Gold. All right, +2 Gold set up. Kowtow gonna knock out the Indeedee. All right, what did the Gothitelle click? Is it Trick Room? Yeah, all right. It's playable though. It's playable. I'm actually really glad I didn't bring Murkrow. All right, I gotta play a game of does Gothitelle have a psychic move? It probably does. I think my best play is just to click Terra Dark on the Sneasler. Sneasler with Terra Dark is really good in this spot. And we'll click Protect. Because then Psyshock into like Kowtow won't pick up the knockout in the Sneasler. And then we get the KO on King Gambit, assuming it doesn't protect our switch here. It's still a very tough game to win, but I do think that this is manageable. We do go for the Terra with our Sneasler. We could have also Terra'd with our Golden Go, but I am not risking the Psyshock here, which does definitely pick up the knockout Sneasler. So, all right, let's see what they can do here. Terra Dark. Protect the Gold. I'm not really too worried about the Gothitelle as long as I get rid of the King Gambit. They do Kowtow the Sneasler to cover for a Terra. Beautiful. Nice. Expanding Force. All right, Dark really coming in clutch. Close combat will pick up the knockout into King Gambit. That's a huge knockout there. I guess like the only other play I could have went for was like a Nasty Plot or a Shadow Ball that would have probably made this even better. But like this is still a very favorable spot. Because I assume their Pokemon are fast. They have a Dragapult. They have Tauros, which should be fast. Gonna be, what is that? That is Amoonguss. The thing is, Amoonguss can't really do too much here. I mean, they can Pollen Puff. I don't really want... Do I want to switch in Bask? I mean, I think the Sneasler's done his job. I think I'm actually just going to attempt a Sword Stance here, and I'm just going to Nasty Plot. I think Life Orb plus 2 Shadow Ball knocks out Gothitelle. I think it's probably unlikely. I think I'm just going to Nasty Plot. They Sport a Sneasler, which is fine. Because as long as the Sneasler's around, the Expanding Force is still a spread move. Yep, they go for Expanding Force. It's just not doing anything. Which makes sense because they don't have an Indeedee on their team. I imagine they just have it because like, oh, in case I face my own size spam. But yeah, now I just go for Shadow Ball, and they're probably going to Pollen Puff Expanding Force again. I think we done Sneasler's done the job I needed to, and if I switch out, I lose the Burn Boost, so it's not really worth it. I think I just Shadow Ball the Gothitelle. If they Rage Powder, that's fine. If they go for a Pollen Puff, it's all right. And they Protect, I mean, I did target the Gothitelle for a reason because it's the one that mainly does the damage here. Light Screen coming out from the Gothitelle. All right. So Shadow Ball will come out into the Gothitelle. It does survive, but special defense drop. Is it Citrus Berry? Yeah, Citrus Berry. Not too surprising. We do wake up and get his Sword Stance off, which is kind of funny. All right. I do love that Sword Stance, although it doesn't really change much here. It's the last her terrain. I'm just gonna Sword Stance again. I already have Terra committed. I think I'm just gonna Nasty Plot again. Yeah, I just Nasty Plot again. What's stopping me from Nasty Plotting again to +6? Because I'd rather get a position. Yeah, like they can Spore, that's fine. Like, what's Gothitelle gonna do? Expanding Force again? I get to buy turns for my Sneasler to wake up again because they're not taking knockouts. Like, the fact that they're not taking a knockout Sneasler means I get 2 turns to buy for Sneasler waking up potentially. And because I have a Sword Stance boost, looking pretty scary, especially with them burning since Trickham's over. Now I can just make it rain. I KO'd a Gothitelle guaranteed. I KO'd a Amoonguss for sure. I think even through Light Screen, I should knock out a Amoonguss. It's +6 Life Orb, man. It's +6 Life Orb. I think it should KO. I think it should KO. So we're going for Make It Rain. They're going to Protect, which is all right. I think if I don't get the 3-turn sleep, I'm pretty happy about this position. Yeah, like now they have to deal with a +2 Sneasler with Unburden and a Golden Go at +5. Granted, it's still going to wreck shop. That's kind of the problem with the Gothitelle, like really bulky builds, is if you get into too passive position, like you can build up momentum, but the thing is, if you're not able to do the damage, and I'm able to build up momentum by setting up, it's just too passive here. Like, it was way too passive. Like, I was able to set up my Pokemon just fine and then sweep you after Trickroom expired. What is this coming in? Dragapult. Yeah, it was Dragapult. I'm not too surprised. So I should live Dragon Dart, so Make It Rain should still KO. I'm just going to go for Throat Chop, and I'm going to go for Make It Rain. I don't know if they follow me or not. They could go for a Double Protective Amoonguss, which is why I'm going for the Throat Chop into the Dragapult. And if they go for Follow Me, like, or Rage Powder, I don't think it changes too much, because I don't think Dire Claw was knocking out the Amoonguss. Probably, I'd say. I don't think it does. But it's also the same power regardless because of the Terra. Oh, nice crit. I don't know if that mattered realistically. It probably did, I'd assume. But let's see what the Dragapult did. Okay, if you're locking yourself in a Thunderbolt, for instance, like, Caesar didn't even go down to that. That's neutral because we did close combat once, but we had the Psychic Seed boost. So yeah, Dragon Ball goes down. Not really too much to say, I think. Like, as I said, I was okay as long as I get rid of the big threat in the King Gambit. And they let King Gambit. They thought they were safe. They terrored with the Gothel, fearing the Shadow Ball. And once King Gambit wasn't able to Terra, the fact that I was able to call it out and attack it with the close combat was really big. And the fact that Terra Dark came in so clutch there because, man, every other Terra would have struggled. Like, Kowtow was doing probably like 80% if I didn't have like, if I had like Steel, it KO'd me if I was Psychic, and Expanding Force would have finished me off. Oh boy, Sneasler coming in clutch there. Hisuian, Lilligant, Torkoal, Indeedee, Hatterene, the Ursaluna, and Annihilate. Classic Trick Room stuff. We do have Imprisoned Indeedee, so I am actually going to bring Imprisoned Indeedee. Hydreion's pretty good, I think. Unless it's the Hatterene lead, then I don't really like it. If they do want to get Trick Room up, actually Terra Dragon Gold is fantastic here. This is where Terra Dragon Gold Indeedee is a really good combo, I think, into their team. I like the Sneasler that can take advantage of Psychic Terrain. And then Hydreion's a pretty good mon in the back. I think a lot of this game, well, there is the Annihilate that I do have to worry about. Annihilate is scary with that final Gambit, so Indeedee can't exactly always deny the Trick Room here, so that's something I do have to keep in mind. We'll see. Imprison's a really good tech. We do have Terra Ghost on Indy, which could be a play here. I would really like to Terra Dragon and Golden Go, but we'll see. It is going to be the lead of Indeedee Annihilate. Okay. Unless they go for a Helping Hand Ghost move here immediately, I'm in a really good spot, I'd say. I'm going to go for a Terra Ghost with the Indeedee. Go for the Imprison to counter the final Gambit on Annihilate that they like to go for with these teams. And Imprison, so Indeedee can't get Trick Room up. And then I'm gonna Nasty Plot with the gold. And then we'll just see what my opponent can do here. There's like one hard commitment play that could go absolutely wrong, which is just the Shadow Claw from the Annihilate and the Helping Hand. Otherwise, I think we're fine. So let's see what they decide to click. Nice. Nice. Oh, beautiful. Nasty Plot from the gold. Imprison from the Indeedee to prevent any Trick Room coming up from my opponent. They did go for a Dazzling Gleam though, so they were probably reading the Imprison. Worked out perfectly. All right, beautiful. I just go for Hyper Voice, and if it Dazzling Gleam is their move, I'm not really too concerned. I think I just go for a Nasty Plot once again. And another +4 because Indeedee can't do anything. Whatever switches in probably is not going to be faster. I break a Sash if it's a Hisuian Lilligant with the Hyper Voice, and then I just click Follow Me with my Safety Goggles Indeedee plus Make It Rain, and then I really don't think they can stop me. It's like that song, Don't Stop Me Now. They just stay in to Final Gambit, sure. They just really can't do anything. I have two Ghost types out on the field. Nasty Plot. Hyper Voice once again. That did nothing to the Indeedee. Dazzling Gleam. Yeah, but the thing is, now we actually OHKO their Indeedee guaranteed through the Psychic Seed. So Hyper Voice, Make It Rain. They keep going for Final Gambit. Maybe it's Lilligant Torkoal in the back. Even if it's Lilligant Torkoal, I feel like I'm completely fine. I crit their Indeedee, sure. I'm a Life Orb Golden Go. I don't think that was really impacting the match here. With that crit, Indeedee goes down. The Annihilate goes down. Let's see what their last two are. They still can't go for Trick Room because the Imprison is a factor on the field. So one turn to guarantee no Trick Room goes up. Everybody's going to fail. All right, let's see who they bring out. Torkoal should be one of their last mons. The question is, what is the final one? Ursaluna? Yeah. Pretty sure Make It Rain plus Hyper Voice just cleans up here. And I don't really see a reason not to. It's Life Orb plus 3 Golden Go, Make It Rain plus a Hyper Voice. We have Pokemon in the back. They can't set up Trick Room. We have Pokemon faster than them. Hydreigon with the Dark Pulse looks super good just to clean up. I don't think any Terras can save them. They're not even going to try it. Make It Rain is just going to clean up the rest. I love Golden Go, but Imprison Terra Ghost Indeedee. Fantastic. With Safety Goggles immune to Amoonguss Spore, and with the Imprison, We're just always able to deny the Trick Room from being set up that turn. Especially with the Terraghost to prevent final Gambits from Annihilate. Dragapult, Hydreigon, Farigiraf, Smeargle, Primarina, Politoed. Why do I feel like this is some Dragon Cheer strat? Could be. I don't think it's Perish. I don't think it's likely Perish on this team. Let's see. I do like. Murkrow, Hydreigon seem pretty good. Sneasler's actually pretty good against their team. I'm just a bit worried about their Dragapult, but I think I'm okay. Yeah, this is just strange because I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, they got really powerful water, rain mode. They have the double dragons. They have the double normal. Is this decorate with Primarina? I'm trying to figure it out. I want something safe. I don't know what's crazy safe into this combo, though. I think I kind of like Sneasler plus gold. I don't think it's too bad. And I think in the back, I like Hydreigon and Inity. I don't really feel like I need Basculegion. Last Respect is pretty good against the team, but with double normal, especially like Follow Me, potential Smeargle, don't really like it too much. They also have the Hydreigon that resisted, so I don't think it's that great. I do like my own Hydreigon. It's good against a lot of their team other than the Primarina. And then let's just see what kind of strat that I have to see here. We're gonna see Hydreigon for Farigiraf. All right, not sure what to really expect here. We will bring out the Golden Go and the Sneasler. I think I'm just gonna, I could go for Terra Dark Throat Chop. I don't really feel like that impacts that much. I think I'm just gonna go for a Swords. The thing is, you do get a I think my play is to Terra Dark, Swords Dance with Sneasler, go out into Indeedee. Do you Trick Room here? This could be like Trick Room Dark Pulse, so this could be a bad play. I'm trying to cover if they go for a Psychic move. Yeah, this is just a weird lead. Actually, I could also go my own Hydreigon and just protect the Golden Go, and I think that's probably better. Like, I don't want to risk everything on like this turn one because I have no idea what I'm supposed to expect from this team. This could just be a standard Trick Room, which is fine. I'm going to bring out my Hydreigon to resist a Psychic or be immune to a Psychic. Scout for what their Hydreigon clicks. Snarl, okay. That probably is either Assault Vest or Choice Spec stand. I don't think that's Choice Spec, so probably Assault Vest. Okay. Growth Spray. Huh. Trick Room. Not great. Not great. Okay. Alright, I'm just gonna try to click Snarl. I'm gonna try to get as much damage as I possibly can, I think, with the Golden Go. Let's click Make It Rain, baby. Get as much damage as I possibly can onto their team. Which, I mean, Make It Rain with a Life Orb is gonna do a lot of damage. I don't know what their speed is on the Hydreigon. I feel like Make It Rain should be able to do a lot of damage if we do connect. And, like, I imagine this goes faster than Hydreigon under the Trick Room. We're gonna see the swap out from the Rig, which is interesting. Primarina coming in on a Make It Rain would be nice. Yeah, that's a pretty nice Make It Rain. All right, that should do some pretty good damage. Yeah, really good damage. If we can reverse Trick Room, we're in a nice spot, I think. We're gonna see Snarl come out again. Okay, I'm okay with Snarl coming out again. Does lower my special attack, so I'm -2 on both, but I do get to minus their special attack with... Oh, come on. Why did they hit 4 and I can't hit 2? That's actually really annoying. All right, I'm going to Indeedee for this slot, and I'm going to go my Sneasler for the next one. I feel like I need offensive pressure right now, and I feel like what's going to give that to me is going to be the Sneasler. I'm going to retreat, actually. Okay. Into what? Politoed. Okay. That Snarl miss is just so bad, man. I would have been taking the Primarina attacks very nicely. Now I don't. Is it winnable? Yes. I don't know if I can stall out the turns though. We'll see. Okay, Psychic Seed. I'm worried about how much this Hyper Voice is going to do. Oh. A lot less than I expected. I feel like if I can reverse Trick Room, I'll be in a good spot. I'm going to try to reverse Trick Room here, and I'm going to go for a Dire Claw into... I don't need to KO the Primarina, actually. I need damage on the Politoed. So I guess I just Dire Claw the Politoed. Weather Ball going to come out. Okay, they target Sneasler. I wasn't sure if they were going to get a... Go for... Well, I think this is the right play, because Hyper Voice is not going to KO my NDD. Because I didn't redirect. I feel like if I did follow me, I actually might have gone down to the Weather Ball. And I wouldn't have been able... Then it would be single target Hyper Voice into Sneasler. And I think I would have lost that way. This actually kind of works out. I think I get to go Hydreigon. I think we should be okay. I'm going to click Hyper Voice and Dark Pulse, I think, into the Primarina. Dark Pulse, I think, should KO the Primarina with Hyper Voice. I guess the question is, is he faster than Politoed? Like, we're naturally faster, and I have, like, a bit of speed on the NDD, so I feel like we should be able to. Hyper Voice gets the chip and Politoed. If they go for another attack, that means they do take the chip damage, and then I think I can win. I hope Hyper Voice KOs. Okay. Good. And then what's Politoed clicking? Weather Ball into Hydreigon is an interesting play. Maybe to cover if I Terra. Okay, beautiful. I've been scared of Muddy Water Politoed, which is why I didn't follow me either the previous turn. We're gonna see the Farigiraf come out again. All right, I think my play here is just to go for Imprison. And a Dark Pulse with the Hydreigon into the Politoed. Since it's offensive Politoed, it's taking a lot of damage. I'm pretty sure Choice Spec's Dark Pulse should finish off the Politoed. And to cover for Farigiraf going for a Terra, I want to go for Imprison. Because they could have Terra Fairy to get out of the Dark Pulse range. We are able to get Imprison off with my NDD. All right, what did the Giraffe click? Nice. We also sealed Hyper Voice, which is amazing. So if it's Hyper Voice Psychic, then it can't hit my Hydreigon, which is actually hilarious. The Hydreigon on their side is going to come in, but we're timid Hydreigon. We at least speed tie at minimum. I click Hyper Voice and I click Dark Pulse, and I think I win. I think we have maneuvered this. Although, I don't know, Farid could have a surprise move that I'm not anticipating. No Terra on Hydreigon helps. We saw it was Drought Spray. I could follow me to be 100% safe, but if they went for the confident Snarl play, I feel like it's not. We're going to see Hydreigon Terra, which is interesting. Terra Steel. I mean, I'm Dark Pulsing always. I'm Choice Specs anyway, so I'm locked into Dark Pulse. Helping Hand. Is this Helping Hand Snarl? Yeah, we just outspeed the Hydreigon, which I'm not too surprised about. I feel like Drought Spray Snarl is like... With Timid Hydreigon would be kind of strange. I don't know. Maybe it could have been. But I think I was okay anyway. They also were most likely clicking Snarl there, I imagine, to get around to follow me, so I didn't think there was a point. Hydreigon would have been able to maybe take the Snarl. Yeah, I feel like we would have been able to take the Snarl anyway. I guess I could have followed me just to be like 100% safe, but... I don't think it really impacts because I'll be able to finish off the Farigiraf and Dark Pulse, and that is good game. Whew. All right, really clutch from the NDD, actually. NDD is the one that clutched up. Reversing the Trick Room was huge. Following me would have actually been a misplay. Sure, maybe Sneasler survived. I don't think NDD was living the Weather Ball, though. I'm pretty sure the single target Hyper Voice was KOing Sneasler at the range it was at. Because I missed the Snarl on that Primarina earlier, which was actually pretty bad, but we were able to maneuver, reset the Trick Room, and then even though we were weakened, we still had like Pokemon in the back, right, that were just faster than theirs and could out pressure. Whimsicott, Primarina, Arcanine, Rillaboom, Gallade, and Golden Go. All right, we have Tailwind, Trick Room potential possibilities. We have a good Firewater Grass balance core that we're dealing with. Hydreigon is kind of weird because the Primarina is annoying, and so is the Gallade. I do like Hydreigon with Snarl a lot in this matchup. Double Fairy is a bit awkward for it though. Is very awkward. Golden Go with Terra Dragon's fantastic. Again, it's the fairies that are a bit scary. We do have our Sneasler, which is actually pretty good in this matchup. We do have to watch out for their gold though. I don't really like the Murkrow in the matchup. Sure, we can tail him, but that's really it. I think I kind of like the idea of... I like Indeedee. I like Golden Go. Asky Legion's not bad at all. But I really like Sneasler and I like Hydreigon. I'm trying to figure out like if there's a safe lead for me here. I feel like it's probably just gold Hydreigon with Indeedee and Sneasler in the back. I really like back Indeedee Sneasler because like if they lead stuff like Rillaboom, if they lead something like Arcanine, then I don't have to play with the terrain and the Intimidate right away that affects my Sneasler and my terrain from Indeedee, of course. Indeedee is pretty nice because if they do have Encore, we don't have to worry about it with our potential just swapping out into the Indeedee to avoid the priority prankster from affecting the psychic terrain. We're gonna see. Okay, this is a really good lead for gold, unless this is Night Slash on the Gallade for some reason. I'm just gonna go for a Shadow Ball into the Gallade, and I think I'm just gonna retreat here. There should be Moonblast. I think I'm okay with going Indeedee. Granted, I could just go for a Terra if I really want to, but I think I'm just gonna go out into Indeedee. Yeah, I don't really see too much of a problem. They don't have a good Shadow Ball switch in here. Indeedee seems pretty good, especially if they go for Tailwind. Like Tailwind Sacred Sword would be probably pretty ideal into Hydreigon, because we could also threaten the Trick Room the following turns. All right, let's see what they click here. Just don't be Night Slash, and we're fine. So get the Psychic Terrain up. It's not going to probably affect this part. We're going to see Tailwind come out from the Indeedee. They didn't Terra, which is nice. So Shadow Ball will be putting on a lot of pressure against Gallade. They go for Sacred Sword. Okay, so pretty much... Wow, that does so much damage. That's Sharpness Gallade for you. Here's the Shadow Ball into Gallade. Picks up the knockout, so Gallade does go down. Critical hit I don't think was necessary. It's a life from Shadow Ball. And all right, we have a 2v3 advantage, but they do have they do have Tailwind up. Primarina coming out, huh? Which I'm okay with. Yeah, I think I just go for Make It Rain. And I guess I attempt to Trick Room. There's not really a point of Follow Me here. Yeah, there's no point of going for Follow Me. I just attempt to Trick Room. I expect to go down anyway. Like, I really do. We're going to see a Terra come out. All right. And the Primarina Terra Water. All right, Terra Water. That's all right for me here. I just need Chip on Primarina. Now Close Combat, I think, should finish off the Primarina, if I'm not mistaken. Moonblast's going to come out into the Indeedee. There's no way that this is Hydro Pump. Okay, it's Hyper Voice. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Oh, your specs. Okay. Sure. Or Life Orb. I'm surprised Life Orb got me, actually. All right, we go Hydreigon. We go out into Sneasler. Psychic Seed. We do have some interesting plays I can go for, though. I'm gonna go for... Do I want a Heat Wave here? What's in the back that could screw me over? Do I want a Snarl or do I want a Heat Wave? Heat Wave covers what? The gold? Only Arcanine's really a problem. Even then, I'm probably okay against it. I think I'm just going to go for a Heat Wave. I'm just going to go for a Heat Wave. And I'm going to go for Throat Chop in the Primarina. With the Psychic Seed, we do have the Unburden. And because we have the Unburden, we should outspeed the Primarina. Terrifier to Hydreigon does prevent Moonblast from threatening the Hydreigon knockout. So let's see. There is still options that could go wrong here. Yeah, they went for Moonblast and Hydra. Perfect. That's not really great of a special attack drop. Drill Chop going to come out into the Primarina. Heat Wave. Wait, why is that Primarina hecka slow? Okay. Nice. Able to get chip into Whimsicott, and it should have been Hyper Voice. Perfect. That's the usefulness of Drill Chop there against Primarina. Now we can go for a Heat Wave, and we can go for a Dire Claw into the Primarina. It's not over yet. I said it's not over yet. What do you have in the back? You can Moonblast crit my Sneasler. That was an option. There was an Arcanine in the back. If you had Arcanine, it's not great for you, but it's still playable. You protect Primarina, you switch out. You protect Primarina, you sack Whimsicott, and then you bring out the Arcanine. If it's Rillaboom, you have Fake Out Pressure. So I don't know. I feel like that game is definitely doable, but good to showcase, I guess, the Throat Chop Sneasler, I suppose. Its usefulness of Throat Chop against the Primarina was pretty important because with the Terrifier, we were able to resist a Moonblast, and with the Throat Chop, they can't click Hyper Voice. I don't know how slow that Primarina was because it underspent Hydreigon for some reason. So that was a pretty slow Primarina, but we'll take it. Whimsicott, Incineroar, Basculegion, Arcalon, Blood Moon, Ursaluna, and Rillaboom. Alright, so unless one of these Pokemon have Rain Dance and Whimsicott does not get access to Rain Dance, I assume its adaptability, Basculegion, Sturdy Arcalon. Alright. Sturdy Arcalon actually makes this a little bit weird, but we can probably play around it. I do really like the... Sneasler's really good into this, and I mean really good. We just outspeed everything, especially if we had the terrain control. Basculegion of our own, it's not bad. It's not amazing, I'd say. Gold isn't bad. It helps against Ursaluna, the Arcalon, but since it's fast, Arcalon's a little bit rougher. I think I like the idea of Murkrow plus Hydreigon lead, and I think it's probably Terra to Hydreigon. Sneasler and last Pokemon... Inity for the Unburden boost, because I think Sneasler's a really good cleanup mon, but we need to set up for it. Break the Sturdies, get rid of that Whimsicott so I don't have to worry about Encore or opposing Tailwind in the future. Arcalon with Sturdy, does that allow Electroshock to knock out Murkrow? Because they run max special attack. This Murkrow has a lot of special defense. You can actually live Electroshock from some Arcalon, I know. But I don't know what it's like against a max special attack Arcalon. We'll see. We'll see what they will lead here. It's going to be Whimsicott and Incineroar. Okay, that actually works out pretty well for me as I lead Murkrow plus Hydreigon. I like the idea of just breaking the sash on the Whimsicott, so I'm going to go for Foul Play, and I'm going to go for the Terrifier Heat Wave immediately. Yeah. This could be Fake Out on Murkrow and Moonblast, which is fine. This could be Fake on Hydreigon. A bit worse, but still acceptable. Like, I'm completely okay with expending the Terra on Hydreigon. I do got to watch out for a few things. Basculegion with Aqua Jet is one of them. But otherwise, like, we do resist the Grassy Glide still. We don't take the knockoff from Incineroar, but we take a Flare Blitz, which is kind of nice. Although we already kind of do that, but mainly it's just for the Whimsicott. The Whimsicott is a Pokemon I do have to get rid of. That Pokemon's annoying. All right, bring out the Hydreigon. Gonna be Fake Out, gonna come out in a Murkrow. Perfect. So they probably went for Moonblast into Hydreigon. Yep, perfect. Nice. Ah, that's an annoying special attack drop. Please hit the Whimsicott. Okay, we're good. Nice. All right. Huge Whimsicott knockout there. Well, bring in a Sash. We get to knock out the next turn unless they protect or switch out. I like the idea of pinning. So I'm actually going to go for Foul Play into the Incineroar on Heat Wave. I think the Whimsicott's most likely going to be locked into going for Tailwind this turn as a last ditch effort. Or they protect. That's fine too. If they go for Tailwind, Incineroar doesn't have the best options. It can go for Knockoff or it can go for Parting Shot. If they go for Parting Shot, they don't have the best switches to Foul Play plus Heat Wave. It kind of gets a lot of their team, right? Because it catches the Basculegion. Oh, they go for Light Screen here. All right. I'm okay with that. Place it to Heat Wave into Whimsicott. Nice. All right. I'll take that. Big Heat Wave into the Whimsicott. Get a bit of chip into Incineroar. Building up that chip damage is nice for close combat. So definitely appreciate it here. Foul Play going to come out into the Incineroar for just a bit more chip. Actually, some pretty nice damage. Fighting Shot and Hydreigon is fine because I can reset by switching out. So we have a 4-3 lead. We did have to use our Terra, and they do have Light Screen available. But I do not think that this is that bad. Ursaluna coming out. All right. Which is most likely Terra normal. Incineroar coming back in or something else? Incineroar coming back in. All right, perfect. I'm just going to go for Protect. And I'm going to swap out into my Indeedee. Because there's no reason to let Hydreigon go down. It's in a great position later in the game because Draco Meteor... They don't have a switch because Whimsicott went down. So I like the idea of just going for a Choice Specs Draco Meteor and picking up a KO. And then we don't want to let Murkrow go down before we get a Tailwind up because we can start overwhelming them. The only problem is that the Ursaluna does have lights. So they do have Light Screen, which is a problem. But we can manage. If the Ursaluna takes any bit of Life Orb chip, it should go down to my Sneasler's Close Combat, which is a big deal. So let's find out what they're gonna bring out or what they're gonna click. Indeedee gonna come in. And this is Protect from the Murkrow. Is this Hyper Voice? Is this Blood Moon immediately? Fake Out gonna come out into the Murkrow. Yep. And what did they click with the Blood Moon? Hyper Voice. Okay. So what's funny is I can imprison the Hyper Voice if I want to. But there is a problem with that. I'd rather just go for a Tailwind and a Hyper Voice. The main reason I want a Tailwind and a Hyper Voice is because even if I do go for Imprison, the Incineroar probably faster than the Blood Moon. Clicks Knockoff, KOs Indeedee, and then they can click Hyper Voice. So not really worth it. I'd rather just get a Tailwind. Get the chip damage that I need with the Hyper Voice. Some pretty good damage across the board. There is going to be a Berry from the Incineroar, which is alright. Knockoff does come out in Indeedee. Yep. So this could be Blood Moon still. I don't know. But there wasn't really a play I could do with Indeedee there. So this works out. Yep, they did go for Blood Moon. Perfect. All right. Really nice. So Murkrow goes down. We had 3 turns of Tailwind. We go out into our Sneasler and our Hydreigon, and now this is where it gets a little bit concerning, but we still have a pretty okay spot. I don't think Dark Pulse is going to pick up a knockout into the Incineroar, unfortunately. So I got to figure out, like, what are the slots they could switch in. They have Rillaboom. This gets really awkward, I think. If it's Basculegion, it's okay. Our Caledon, I think, is all right. I guess the question is, what move do I want to lock in? I could Draco Meteor in close combat here, and I think that's probably the best play. Yeah, I think I'm going to close combat. I'm just going to Draco Meteor. Because I think the Blood Moon Ursaluna should be in range of Draco Meteor. They go for Protective Ursaluna, which is actually really good for me, so I am able to KO the Incineroar. They haven't Terra'd yet. I wasn't sure what the Terra on Incineroar was, but it did work out here. Nice. So Incineroar goes down. They were probably expecting close combat into the Ursaluna. But yeah, that's really, really good. All right. Who is there next coming out? If it's Rillaboom, I feel really good about our position. If it's Basculegion, I think it's a little bit scary. Our Caledon's pretty fine, I think. Because I'm pretty sure I can close combat the Ursaluna and I can Draco Meteor the Arcaladon. I don't think it should be Assault Vest. If it's Assault Vest, I do lose. Should I just believe Draco Meteor KOs Ursaluna? Because it's not Trick Room unless the woman's got a Trick Room on their team. You know what? I'll close combat the Arcaladon and I will Draco Meteor the Ursaluna. I was pretty confident Draco Meteor KOing. Looks really close though. Do I believe it's more likely that the Ursaluna lives Draco Meteor, or do I think the Arcaladon's sturdy? I think I'd rather just Draco Meteor the Ursaluna. Let's see. We're gonna see a Terra come out. Oh, Arcalon. Actually... Oh, the fact that it's Terra Fairy is going to screw me over. I guess that makes sense. Actually, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Those combats, not going to do enough to Arcalon. Yeah, it's going to come down to do they actually KO the Sneasler because... Wait, it's stamina? It's not sturdy? Okay, I guessed wrong. Draco Meteor into Ursaluna. It does pick up the knockouts. I did have that right. But the fact that the Arcalon was sturdy, I mean... What did it click? Hey, click Draco Meteor. Okay, yeah, it's over. Oh, that Arcalon screwed me over. I felt like I built up for a decent amount. The problem was Terra Fairy Arcalon was definitely one of the worst cases. And yeah, I guess if I locked in a Heat Wave, it was better. Because Heat Wave might have actually been able to put in work. I don't know. It might still be a Sylvest Arcalon if it's sturdy, but it could also be Power Up. I have no clue. But yeah, I guess I had to lock in a Heat Wave. I was really scared if it was a Rillaboom back, because if it was Rillaboom, they could play the fake out pivot game and then just pick up knockouts because I don't have Protect on either of the Pokemon available. If it was Basculegion, like Heat Wave was up losing play. I think I probably just had to like guess right whether to click Heat Wave or Draco Meteor there, unfortunately. And I got it wrong. All right, most of the games can be summed up by just trying to position my offensive Pokemon and do a lot of damage. We had the Tailwind Murkrow that I like to lead, especially with like Hydreigon, Golden Gold, and Make a Rain Draco Meteors with the Haze that can just get rid of those special attack drops so they can do even more damage was incredible. We had the Sneasler mode that I ended up bringing a bunch of times and just trying to pressure with the Sneasler. And it was really powerful. The only thing that was a little bit awkward at times was it can't really switch. This team really has a hard time switching, even though it has like some bulky sets like the bulky Sneasler, the Indeedee that is supposed to be bulky, and Murkrow. Sometimes I would just bring Indeedee and Murkrow. Maybe I should have led Indeedee more than just like having the Indeedee in the back, because I often led Murkrow and maybe I needed to lead Indeedee instead, because having that weird option of getting the Tailwind and then only having one Pokemon on the field meant my opponents could just target down that offensive threat and really leave the Murkrow alone. And trying to get in Indeedee, like Indeedee next to Murkrow in that final game, was very awkward to pilot. I was able to get Chip, but then I lost both Pokemon without doing too much, and then kind of just snowballed to where I had to lock into move with the Choice Specs Hydreigon, and I just got the move wrong because I couldn't scout for what the last Pokemon was. So that's ended up being a downside. Otherwise, I would have just had to get that mind game right, I think, and get the Heat Wave. I think locking the Heat Wave. I also didn't know if it was Arcalon on the back. I thought it'd be like Stellar Terra, potentially sturdy. And I got that mind game wrong because it was stamina with the Terra Fairy. So completely wrong. But there was one play that I could have made in that game, which was Sword Stance with Sneasler. Instead of going for the close combat, I would have been able to scout Terra, the Draco Meteor, if I was confident it KO'd Ursaluna, and it did KO Ursaluna as the play I went for. I should have just Sword Stance with Sneasler, because if there was a chance Sneasler was able to hang around, then I would have been able to potentially survive a Draco Meteor, even at neutral, just because I do have the Sneasler having bulk. And then I could have just scouted and went for the according move, and in this case Terra Fairy could have went for the Dire Claw instead, unless I want to go straight for the Dire Claw if Sneasler doesn't survive the Draco Meteor. But if it was sturdy on Arcalon, I kind of had to break the sturdy anyway, so might have been just up to Dire Claw anyway, regardless there of a side effect. Overall, some really cool strong options. Regulation A reminded me of like why this Tailwind Haze offense was actually pretty good. Haze is just good against Ndozo. The ability to just go for these really powerful attacks without minimal consequences, basically. With the Make a Rain Draco Meteors, you don't have to worry about switching out because you can just go for the Haze. But if you do get the lead wrong, or if you're oddly positioned where you need to switch out, you lose a lot of momentum that way, so you do have to play cautiously. However, the team did have a lot of strong points. If you do want to try it out, the rental code is on your screen. Hopefully it's still available by the time the video comes out. If you would like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be in the description down below. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content. As always, next time we will be beginning Regulation H on the ranked ladder.